Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, Subsistence Traveling. I'm your host Jay. Today we're talking about 10 foreign bank stocks to buy now. And this is a good sector to be in. Especially today, the banks held up, even though the markets was down today, but all the banks, the major banks held up. Today we're talking about the foreign banks. I believe there's a lots of opportunities in the foreign banks, especially in the emerging markets. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, so I'm gonna give you an opportunity to look at the disclaimer. All right, so here's the case for foreign banks. Right now we have higher interest rates, and it's just crazy how fast interest rates are rising. It's just happened so rapidly. But with higher interest rates, you're going to see capital leave the US because even though rates are heading higher in the US, that means rates are heading even higher um, outside the US, particularly in the emerging markets, emerging and frontier markets. Okay. And so this is when, like I said, you'll see higher, you can get better returns outside of the US. Again, the emerging markets, uh, those those countries tend to be more reliant on credit. Um, I'll go into it in detail more, but again, and we have the real economy as because interest rates will remain low in certain parts of the world, but interest rates will head higher in other parts of the world, and so this causes more and more money to go into the real economy. The real economy is very good for banking. Oh, whether it's building new factories or factories increasing output, and they need loans. Small businesses, things of this nature, all require loans, and this is very good for the banking sector. Okay, now we'll talk more, about the specific banks and so forth. As always, we look at the criteria: profitability, valuation, liquidity and solvency, dividends, and the fundamentals of the sector slash industry. All right, so the first one we're looking at is HSBC, ticker symbol HSBC. Just to let you know, that stands for the Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation. Um, Priced at $30.40, price to earnings of 31.14, price to book of 0.71, pays a dividend of 9.87%. And this is a British bank. One of the good things about this is it gives you good exposure to China because they have a significant amount of business in China. And I think China is one of the biggest themes right now and in the next few years. So and HSBC is also a custodian bank. They're custodian for many ETFs, mutual funds, and things of that nature. So they're global. They do business pretty much everywhere. And yeah, this is a good one to look at. Next, we have ICICI Bank, ticker symbol IBN, priced at 1588, price to earnings of 38.67, price to book of 3.027, and no dividend. This is an Indian bank. A lot of people are bullish on India, hence the high valuation, over three times book. Like I said, people are very bullish on India. The India is a very entrepreneurial economy, and entrepreneurs tend to, a lot of times need loans, need capital. and that's the kind of market that's good for banking, where you have businesses and people taking risk and creating businesses. That's a kind of environment that's very good for banking versus what we have here in the US, where the average person cannot get a loan, because we're not a entrepreneurial society, where we're more of a 9 to 5, get a job kind of society. So next we have Bank of NT Butterfield and Son, ticker symbol NTB, priced at $40.48, price to earnings of 13.91, price to book of 2.05, pays a dividend of 4.35%. Okay, and this is more of a appeal to more of the wealthy people, those people looking to go offshore and things of that nature. They've had pretty good earnings. A lot of people looking to go offshore and things of that nature. So this is definitely a bank to look at. Next is KB Financial Group, ticker symbol KB, priced at $44.68, price to earnings of 5.64, price to book of 0.46, and no dividend. This is a Korean bank. This is based in South Korea. If you understand South Korea is what's considered a mercantile economy. A lot of manufacturing. Like I said, that kind of environment is very good for banking. A very productive economy, and that's the kind of economy that's very good for banking. And the major South Korean banks are very cheap right now, such as companies like KB Financial, Woori Financial. I think there are about maybe 3 major Korean banks that are listed here in the U.S. So you definitely want to take a look, because I think the goods economy is safe for the next few years. The goods economy is safe. So economies like South Korea and their banking should do very well. Banco Bradesco, ticker symbol BBD, priced at $4.71, price to earnings of 14.4, price to book of 1.63, and it pays no dividend. This is the third largest bank in Brazil. And again, Brazil is an emerging market. Interest rates are substantially much higher than they are here in the US. I think a 1 year bond in Brazil pays like over 5% right now. So that's one of the places where I feel a lot of capital is gonna go to, and assets in Brazil are very cheap. There are a lot of resources, a lot of natural resources down there. The Chinese are very hungry for natural resources. They've been buying up a lot of the oil, a lot of the farmland, the agricultural products, and things of that nature. So the economy for Brazil should pick up soon. And again, it's a very entrepreneurial population. So, like I said, entrepreneurs, especially after this whole situation with the virus and the lockdowns and things of that nature, people are gonna need loans and capital to either start up or to recover, or just to expand business. We have Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, ticker symbol CIBC, priced at 101.21, price to earnings of 12.92, price to book of 1.5, pays a dividend of 4.62%. Okay, and what I like about this particular bank, I to be honest, I'm bullish on most of the Canadian banks. Canadian banks tend to be very heavy in the emerging markets and the frontier markets, especially in Latin America and the Caribbean. Canadian Imperial, has big footprint especially in the Caribbean. A lot of those markets are very liquid, and it's sometimes it's good to have exposure to markets like that, because markets like that can perform well even when most of the world is in a recession, depression. Markets like that is can perform very well because of the fact that they're so illiquid and so small, and just you know a lot of things. So I like a lot of the Canadian banks, such as Scotia Bank. Royal Bank of Canada is also I couldn't put all the Canadian banks on this on this video, but I'm very bullish on the major Canadian banks, such as Scotia Bank, as well as Royal Bank of Canada. Next is Banco Macro, ticker symbol BMA, priced at $14.19. Price to earnings of 4.73, price book of 0.92, and no dividend. Okay, Banco Macro is a major bank down in Argentina. And I know a lot of people, say Argentina, you know, regarding the inflation and things of that nature. But a lot of Argentine banks are very profitable. The interest rates are very high down there. So hence, banking can be very profitable. Also, Argentine assets are very cheap, whether it be the real estate, the farmland, the natural resources are very cheap. And right now, the Chinese are down there, just buying up everything. So, you know, Argentina, there should be, their economy will pick up as a result of all these events. And Banco Macro has been profitable the entire throughout the lockdowns, and throughout the virus. Banco Macro has been profitable. And like I said, a lot of cheap assets down there in Argentina, whether it be the stocks, the real estate, the farmland. So it should really benefit, especially from higher interest rates. Even with the rate of inflation as high as it is down there, the higher interest rates will definitely, it will encourage people to take the risk, because people find some way to take that risk, and to get a decent return on their money, despite whatever currency situation they have down there. All right, so we have Barclays, ticker symbol BCS, priced at $10, price to earnings of 21, price to book of 0.58, pays a dividend of 1.11%. Okay, and Barclays is a global bank. They do a lot of consumer finance and a lot of credit cards, and a lot of installment payments, things of that nature. So they're very tied to the consumer, and that's a good business to be in, especially in a time like this, because as a result of all the lockdowns and things of that nature, the demand for loans will definitely increase. And Barclays has been holding up throughout this in when I looked at the year 2020, they had excellent cash flow. The operating cash flow was excellent throughout 2020. So I expect even better things for them in 2021. Over the past few years, they've had a lot of scandals. They've had several things. They've had to write down a lot of losses and stuff of that nature. But I think this particular bank they're going to surprise a lot of people. I think I expect to see some good things from them. And it's a British bank, but they're global. Do a lot of business here in the U.S. and also in emerging markets. They do have they started a bank in Africa. They reduced their ownership. I think it's only like 50% ownership now, but they have exposure to a lot of good emerging and frontier markets. So Barclays should do very. I think this is a good stock and it's low dollar price. So all you guys that like to trade, I think this might be one you may want to look at. All right, so we have HDFC, ticker symbol HDB, priced at $77.80, price to earnings of 29.71, price to book of 4.62, and it pays no dividend. Okay, and this is an Indian bank. As we can see, the valuations on the Indian banks are very high. Valuations on most ETFs that cover India, the indexes that track India are, just high. A lot of people think India is like going to be the next China and things of that nature. Interest rates in India tend to be higher than they are here in the US. So, capital will go there, because the interest rates is higher. The currency does have a tendency to be a little unstable, but in this period right here of higher interest rates, emerging markets and frontier markets should do very well. And this should be a good long term, because the India will eventually I guess the standards of living there will eventually improve. So I think definitely it's a very entrepreneurial society, and like I said, entrepreneurship is one of the things that drive the banking sector. Okay. Last but not least, we have Banco Santander, ticker symbol SAN, priced at 3.52, price to book of 0.63, and no dividend. Okay, this is a Spanish bank based in Spain. However, they have a huge business in Latin America. They have divisions in Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Colombia, throughout Latin America. They also have a business here in the US, the UK, Poland, a global bank. And especially if you're looking at broad exposure to Latin America, this is a very good bank. They should definitely, because like I said, most in the interest rates in the emerging markets were already rising. Okay, and now that you're seeing US interest rates rising, most likely in emerging markets, in the frontier markets, those interest rates are going to head higher. And capital goes where it's treated best. So definitely a good way to play the whole higher interest rates. All right, so here are some other companies you may want to consider. We have Banco Santander Mexico, ticker symbol BSMX. Bancolombia, ticker symbol CIB. Woori Financial, ticker symbol WF. This is a Korean bank. Lloyd's Banking Group, ticker symbol LYG. You may want to look at that one. It's a very low dollar price. All you guys that like to trade, you're looking, just for some quick, low price stock. You may want to look at Lloyd's. Itaú Unibanco. This is the largest bank in Brazil. Again, another low dollar value stock. Bank of Nova Scotia. This is a Canadian bank. Again, another bank with a huge footprint in Latin America and the Caribbean. So definitely you want to take a look at. All right, so I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe to the videos. I hope that you stay tuned to further videos. I have a lot of good content planned. And as I always say, peace to all.